Hello educators, welcome to video 3 of our Data Literacy for Educators series. Today I'm going to be showing you some very interesting tips that you can use in Excel to improve your workflow. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you today is how to use formulas to calculate sum and average. You don't have to do these calculations manually. Once you have your data on an Excel spreadsheet, you can easily automate such calculations and compute numbers very quickly. So on our sheet today we have 3 subjects: math, economics, and literature. Now let's say you're an educator and you want to find the total score per child. The first thing you want to do is come over here and let's call this column total. So this implies that we have to find the sum of math, economics, and literature. So you don't have to manually press this on your calculator for each child. What you can simply do is use the sum function in Excel. So we click this box and we start with an equal sign. When you're going to use calculations in Excel, you have to start with an equals sign. The next thing you want to type in is SUM, and then from this list double click the first one, and then it tells you input the numbers that you want to sum. Now we can just put in different numbers and it solves for us, but because we're interested in calculating from these different cells, we would have to make sure we select them. So we select this one, put a comma, select this one, put a comma, select this one, and then we close the bracket and hit enter. Instantly you've gotten your calculation. So for this first student, the sum of math, economics, and literature is 274. Now you don't have to repeat this same process for all the students. You can simply take your mouse to the corner of this cell, and when your cursor turns to a black cross, simply double click, and just like that it calculates all the values for all the students. Now let's say beyond the sum of their scores, you're also interested in finding their average score. So let's call this column average. I'm going to show you a very interesting way of doing this. Once again, start with your equal sign and then type in average. Double click on the first one, average. Now another way you can get this without having to click each cell, you could just press your mouse down on this cell and drag it to the third one. So that automatically highlights the 3 cells you want to get the average of. We close the bracket and we hit enter. And just like that, you get your value. Now the same thing you did for the previous column, take your mouse to the corner of the cell and double click, so it automates the calculations for all the other cells on that column. Now you would notice that some of our numbers here have long decimal numbers. So if you want to reduce that, it's very simple. Simply select the column like this, come to the top where you have general, select the drop down menu and select number. After doing that, you would notice these 2 symbols here. These 2 symbols let you increase your decimal place or decrease your decimal. So we want our decimal numbers to just be 1 decimal place. That's 1 number after our decimal point. So we click decrease and we get this. Very neat and very simple. So just like that, we've calculated the total score for all the students and the average score for all the students. If you know a teacher who is still doing this manually, calculating student scores, one student before the next, please repost or share this video with them. Lastly, on today's video, I'm going to show you something to make your Excel sheets stand out from your colleagues, something to make your Excel sheet look more professional. It's called conditional formatting. So let's say at a glance, you want to identify students who failed based on their average. Now let's assume at your school, a child that scores below 50 has failed, and you want to instantly look at your Excel sheets and spot students who failed. It's very simple. Come to the first cell of the average, press your mouse down and just drag it down till you get to the end. Now once you have your average column highlighted, what you want to do next is come to the top here and click on conditional formatting. When you do that, click the first one that says highlight cell rules. Now come down to where we have more rules. Now what you want to do at the bottom here is click this where it says greater than, click this and select less than or equal to. Now we are going to type in our number. So let's say a child that gets less than or equals to 49 has failed. So we press 49 and then we click on format. How do we want that child's score to appear? So I'm going to come here under color and select color red. Any person that scores 49 and below, I want that child's score to be displayed in a red color. Just to make it more obvious, I can also select bold and then I click on OK and OK. Again, instantly you can see that on our average column, students who scored below 50, their scores are painted red. Now, if you want to also do something like this for the pass score, it's the same procedure. Come back to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and click on more rules. Now, this time we're going to say greater than or equals to 50. We head on to format. We select the green color and the bold font. OK, and then also you click OK. Now you can see that at a glance you can spot students who failed and you can see the other students who passed in green colors. You can also do this on the subject columns. For example, I'll just make this very quick. So let's say we select this whole column and we click Ctrl C, that's copy. I can bring this to the math column, click the first score, right click, under paste, look for where you have paste special and click the drop down menu here. Come down to where it says formatting. What that means is that we are copying the format we used on the average column to our math column. Once I click on that, you can see that our math column now also has the same color formatting that we did on the average. So this makes it easy for us to spot students who failed math as well as who failed on the general average. We can also paste this same formatting on our Excel sheets on the column that says economics. So let's paste this on economics. Right click, paste special, select the drop down menu and click on formatting. So economics now has also been formatted to show us students who passed and students who failed. So let's also do this for the last subject here, which is literature. So we select that, right click, paste special, click on the drop down menu by the side, come down to formatting and then click. Now you can see that our Excel sheet gives us more details. So if you do this as an educator, it makes your job better and faster. So at a glance, you can easily spot students in your class who are struggling in different subjects. Now, you could notice, or you will notice, that this particular child, Lena Cole, failed math, economics, and literature. What that means is that that child needs urgent help. So this is what you can do to help your workflow as an educator, conditional formatting, use functions to calculate your total, your average, and that just makes your work better. Repost this video, share to your fellow educators, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you.